Imagine a frosty morning. You go outside to check on your greenhouse after an overnight snowfall, open the door, and inside is an icy wasteland. The leaves have sagged, the fruit is lifeless, and the ground is frozen to the ground. Everything you've grown with so much labor, hours, weeks, months of care, is destroyed one cold night. All because there's no electricity to turn on the heater or gas to create a warm atmosphere. How do you save your crops? How do you protect plants from the harsh winter? It seems impossible without modern technology, but believe me, the Amish do it every year using the simplest but ingenious methods. Their approach has proven effective over centuries, and that's exactly what we're going to break down today. Want to know how they heat their greenhouses even when there's a bitter cold outside? Then buckle up, here we go. Winter is a test not only for us, but also for our plants. For many vegetable growers and gardeners, the cold season is a real challenge. After all, a greenhouse is not just a place to grow vegetables and herbs, it is the result of painstaking work, which you want to preserve even on the frostiest days. But traditional heating methods, electricity or gas, can be not only expensive, but also unreliable. Imagine, the electricity is cut off, the gas runs out, and there is a blizzard outside. What to do? That's where time-tested methods come in. The Amish are some of the most experienced farmers who know how to work with nature, not against it. Their greenhouses can withstand even the harshest winters without using a kilowatt of electricity. All they need is sunshine, some of the right materials, and a deep understanding of nature. This approach is not only economical, but also completely eco-friendly. Today, we're going to tell you all the secrets that will help you protect your plants in winter without spending a fortune. Sound intriguing? Then stay tuned and watch to the end. The first secret of the Amish is the use of solar energy. What could be simpler than that? But there are actually subtleties here that make this system incredibly efficient. The sun is the free and most reliable source of heat that exists. It's been shining for billions of years. It doesn't require a bill to pay. And if used correctly, it can warm your greenhouse even on the coldest of days. The Amish know exactly how to position the greenhouse so that maximum sunlight gets in. Their main principle is to orient the greenhouse towards the south. This is no accident. It is the south side that receives the most sunlight during the day. But that's not all. They carefully choose the materials for construction. Transparent glass or plastic allows the sun's rays to penetrate inside, creating a natural greenhouse effect. This approach is reminiscent of the way the sun heats up a car parked in a parking lot. It's always warmer inside than outside. But what about on cloudy days when there is less light? Even here, the Amish don't lose their advantage. They use double walls and sloped roofs to make sure the light that comes through works as efficiently as possible. Such structures retain heat longer, helping plants survive the winter nights. Moreover, special roof angles allow you to catch even the weak rays of the winter sun, turning the greenhouse into a real thermos. It sounds simple, but the efficiency of this method is astounding. Thanks to solar heating, the Amish save up to 50% of their heating costs, even in harsh climates. If you think solar energy is complicated, just look at their example. Nothing extra, just nature and a little ingenuity. Don't you think that's impressive? Now let's talk about the second key element of the Amish system, thermal mass. It sounds like something out of a high school physics course, but it's actually a simple and ingenious way to store heat. The idea is to use materials that can store heat during the day and slowly release it at night. It's as if you heated a rock in the sun, and then it kept you warm for hours after sunset. The Amish masterfully apply this principle to their greenhouses. Water is one of the best stores of heat, and they know it. Along the walls of the greenhouses, you'll find large barrels filled with water. Why water? It has a high heat capacity, which means it can store a lot of heat without heating up dramatically. During the day, the sun's rays heat up the barrels, and at night they begin to slowly release the accumulated heat, maintaining a stable temperature inside the greenhouse. But water isn't the only material they use. Stone, bricks, and even dark clay pots all work to create thermal mass as well. Not only do these materials absorb heat, but they do so efficiently, especially if they are dark in color. Dark surfaces are better at attracting the sun's rays, similar to how black clothes seem hotter in the sun than white clothes. And now imagine, each barrel or brick is a kind of miniature heater that does not need electricity. Thanks to this approach, the greenhouse stays warm even on the frostiest nights. It's not just about saving money, it's also about stability for plants that don't like sudden temperature changes. And the best part? You can implement this method at your place. Just add some stone paths or place water barrels along the walls. This will not only improve insulation, but will also add an authentic charm to your plot. And yes, this method really works. It's been used for centuries for a reason. The next method the Amish use to heat their greenhouses is compost. And yes, you heard right. The same compost that is commonly used to fertilize the soil can be a great source of heat. It's all about the decomposition process of organic materials. When leaves, kitchen scraps, or manure start to decompose, they give off heat. And it's not just a weak heat. The temperature inside a well-prepared compost heap can reach 70 degrees Celsius. The Amish use this process as efficiently as possible. They place compost piles along the walls of the greenhouses or even just inside them. This method creates a kind of thermal barrier that warms the greenhouse from the inside. Imagine how compost piles placed along the perimeter generate heat that prevents plants from freezing even on the coldest nights. But there are subtleties here. Compost must be properly balanced. The Amish know that for effective decomposition, you need to combine green materials like kitchen scraps or grass clippings with brown materials like dry leaves or straw. This approach creates optimal conditions for the microbes that produce heat. Contrary to popular belief, properly prepared compost does not have an unpleasant odor. If the pile smells rotten, something has gone wrong. The Amish stir the compost regularly to ensure air circulation and speed up decomposition. And the best part is that this heating method is not only environmentally friendly, but also doubly beneficial. Once the compost has stopped generating heat, it can be used as a nutrient fertilizer for the soil. In this way, you not only keep the greenhouse warm, but also improve the quality of the soil. Economical, efficient, and completely natural. Wouldn't you agree that this is a great solution? But heat alone is not enough. A cold wind can quickly negate all efforts to maintain the temperature inside the greenhouse. That's why the Amish place great emphasis on protecting their greenhouses from the wind by using natural barriers. This method is simple but incredibly effective. Instead of relying on expensive structures or complex systems, they plant trees, shrubs, and hedges around their greenhouses. Such green barriers play a dual role. Firstly, they significantly reduce wind speed. Studies show that properly positioned trees can reduce its power by up to 50%. This means that less cold air gets inside the greenhouse and the heat stays longer. Secondly, these natural barriers create a microclimate, a small zone where the temperature around the greenhouse is higher than in an open area. But the protection doesn't end there. For additional insulation, the Amish use straw bales that are placed along the walls of the greenhouse. This is an inexpensive but effective solution. Straw retains heat well because of its air pockets, creating a natural insulating layer. And when winter is over, it can be turned into compost, so no waste. Some Amish go even further and use multiple layers of plastic sheeting inside the greenhouse. This creates an additional air barrier that acts like a thermos, keeping the heat in even on the coldest days. You've probably seen this method in action if you've ever put bubble wrap over your windows in the winter. The effect is the same. All of these methods, wind barriers, thatch, insulation layers, work together to create the warmest and most sheltered environment possible. Best of all, they're easy to do and don't cost a lot of money. This is another example of how the Amish use nature to their advantage without destroying its harmony. But even with warmth and protection from the wind, plants may not survive if they are simply not designed for the harsh conditions. The Amish know this as well as anyone, which is why they take special care in selecting crops for winter growing. Their strategy is simple. If a plant can't survive the cold, it's simply not suitable for the greenhouse during the cold season. Their choices are true winter fighters: cabbage, spinach, carrots, beets. These are the real heroes of greenhouses. These crops not only withstand low temperatures, but also become tastier after a light frost. Take cabbage, for example. When the temperature drops, it begins to convert starch into sugar, protecting itself from the cold. As a result, its flavor becomes sweeter and fuller. It's not just sustainability, it's also a way to get a better harvest. But choosing the right crops is only part of the strategy. The Amish also use the successive seeding method. They plant at different stages to ensure a constant harvest throughout the winter. It's similar to stockpile management. You don't want everything to grow at once, because then you'd have to harvest everything at once and then be left without fresh vegetables. Instead, they plan so that they always have the opportunity to harvest, ensuring that they have fresh produce even during the colder months. In addition, the Amish often combine the use of cold frames and hotbeds to create an ideal environment for these crops. Cold frames protect the plants from above, while hotbeds warm them from below, creating a balanced microclimate. This allows them to not only grow winter-hardy crops, but also to extend the growing season for less resistant plants. In this way, the Amish can keep greenhouses productive throughout the winter. Amish methods are not limited to solar power and thermal mass. Their greenhouse heating system also includes the use of cold frames and hot beds, two completely simple but powerful ways that help them maximize their use of natural resources. Cold frames are small structures with transparent covers that create the perfect environment for plants. These frames catch the sun's rays during the day and trap heat inside, creating a sort of mini greenhouse. They are ideal for early planting of seeds or for frost protection of less cold-tolerant crops. The Amish also use hotbeds, a natural heating system borrowed from the old vegetable gardeners. This is when fresh compost or manure is placed in a bed and begins to decompose, releasing heat. This process can keep the temperature of the bed at 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, even when the outside temperature is around freezing. This helps plants grow faster and longer, ideal for winter growing. These methods are inexpensive because the materials used, wood, compost, are almost always available in every Amish home. Cold frames and hotbeds are like two extra protective layers of heat that create a greenhouse environment without the need for gas or electricity. They work together with other methods, such as composting and windbreaks, to create a sustainable system that can withstand the winter without additional energy costs. Thus, using simple natural materials and methods allows the Amish to keep their greenhouses warm and productive even in the coldest conditions. Not only is this environmentally friendly, but it significantly reduces heating costs, turning their greenhouses into a winter harvest oasis. But what really makes Amish methods unique is their philosophy of simplicity and sustainability. The Amish don't just use cutting-edge technology or innovative techniques. Their approach to heating greenhouses and growing crops is deeply rooted in traditional values and knowledge passed down through generations. There is no room for technological excess or dependence on electricity in their way of life. All they do is utilize natural resources and methods that have worked for centuries. The Amish build their greenhouses out of wood and glass, using materials that are simple and durable. Their structures don't need complicated heating or air conditioning systems. Instead, they rely on solar heat, thermal mass, and wind protection to create natural conditions for plant growth. This approach requires little financial investment or regular maintenance, just efficient use of what's around. It's not just ecology for ecology's sake. It's a way of life based on minimalist and durable solutions. The simplicity and sustainability of the Amish are not just words. It's a philosophy they adhere to every day. They don't chase after technological advances, nor do they puzzle over electric heaters or air conditioners. Instead, they integrate environmental principles into every aspect of their lives. This may seem too primitive, but the Amish have proven that it works effectively. Their system of heating greenhouses without the use of gas or electricity is not just a fashion trend, but a time-tested method. It doesn't cost a lot of money, and it works consistently and reliably, giving their plants optimal conditions even in the harshest winters. The Amish methods of heating greenhouses without gas or electricity not only provide warm conditions for plants, but also demonstrate their deeply ecological and minimalist approach to life, utilizing solar energy, thermal mass, compost, windbreaks, proper plant selection, and natural insulating materials. They create a sustainable system that works efficiently and at virtually no cost. If you'd like to learn more about how the Amish make their greenhouses so productive, be sure to subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. In the comments, share your ideas on how you might apply Amish methods to your gardening. Remember, nature is your best ally. Now the question, which of these methods would you try at your place? Write in the comments, and of course, don't forget to give us a like if this video was useful.